Hi, welcome back to the Emotionally Intelligent series. Today we're going to be talking about thoughts and feelings. So, during my trainings and my sessions, I usually ask one question: what is it that you are feeling? And my participants respond by saying, I feel like running away, or I feel like giving up. Some of them even say, I feel like jumping around in happiness. Now, this is not exactly the response that I'm looking for to that question, because I asked them, what is it that you're feeling? But they have responded back by telling me their thoughts. So, what's the difference? I mean, they're so similar, right? The language that we use to express them is so similar. But both of them are different. Thoughts and feelings are not the same. And it is important for us to differentiate between thoughts and feelings. This is because if we exactly identify our thoughts, we will be able to manage them in a much better way. So we have better control over our emotions and feelings. So let's say, for example, that you have gone to office and you happen to see a close colleague. Now, usually, whenever you meet this colleague, you greet them and they greet you back. But you happen to see this person and you said a hi and you're smiling, but this person does not respond back to you and runs in the other direction with certain files in the hand. Now, the first thought that might have entered your mind at that specific moment could be, is this person trying to ignore me? Now, a thought of that person ignoring you might actually create certain emotions in your mind. That emotion could be of feeling sad, or it could be feeling more anxious about what is it that you must have said the previous time, or is it something that you've done that this person happened to see you and just walk away or run away in the other direction. So your thought about that situation, your thought of that person ignoring you has created certain emotions and feelings of sadness, or maybe you're just anxious in that specific moment, thinking about what you must have done. And these thoughts that create these feelings also create certain actions. So, because of these feelings, your next action would be probably, let's ignore this person. You know what? Even I'm not going to say a hi back. I won't even care to ask this person what happened. Or, I'll play the ignore game as well. But now, this whole chain that has happened over here might not actually be right. Now, what if you have identified your thought at that specific moment and you're conscious about what exactly happened in your mind, on how you perceived a specific situation? What if you just take the time now to shift that thought or change that thought and maybe think of it in this way? That is, okay, maybe she's having another thing that she has to do right now in this moment, and that is why she ran in the opposite direction. Or let's say maybe she is in a very bad mood today. Something must have happened before. So now in this case, a thought like this, when you consciously think of something like this, you shift your perception, you shift your thought, it could actually evoke another emotion. This emotion could be concern. You might actually feel concern for that person. And that can actually result in an action where you might take the time to go up to that person and ask them if they're okay. Ask them, or tell them that, this, I said hi, I said a hi to you, and you happen to go. Is everything okay? I thought you weren't fine. So you see how your thoughts create your emotions, and your emotions and your feelings play a very pivotal role in the actions that you do or the behaviors you exhibit. Now, it's also important for you to understand and be very aware of your thoughts, because if you are aware of it, like I said, you will be able to manage it in a much better way. So quite often when we get a lot of negative thoughts in our heads, it creates a lot of negative emotions or certain thoughts. It's not particularly negative. There are a lot of thoughts that evoke a certain kind of emotion or trigger certain emotions that are unpleasant. So how do we stop this, or how do we manage? We cannot stop it, but how can we manage these emotions? Or how can we manage these thoughts which we know will trigger us, will trigger a specific emotion that we do not like? First, let's understand how we differentiate between thoughts and feelings. So, one of the most simple ways of differentiating between a thought and feeling, if you remember when I started this video, I said, when I ask my participants a question, what is it that you're feeling? They usually respond by saying, I feel like giving up, I feel like running away. These are thoughts. So, how do you differentiate between thoughts and feelings? It's very simple. Thoughts basically have actions, and feelings do not. So if I say I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling frustrated, these are pure feelings. But when I say I feel like running away or I feel like giving up, I feel like throwing things around, these are nothing but thoughts because you have a specific action when you are expressing these things. So this itself will help you understand what exactly is a thought and what is a feeling. Now I want you to pay close attention to the next few things that I will be telling you. All your thoughts are not true. People believe that all the thoughts that run through your head might actually be the absolute truth, and it is not so. And this itself can be a very relieving factor in a lot of things, because quite often there are so many thoughts that go on into your head, and you think like, yes, this is coming to my head time and again, and I think, what, this is the truth. Maybe it could be a thought that is telling you that you are a failure, or a certain course is not meant for you, or a certain thing is not meant for you. And because it keeps coming to your head, it evokes an emotion that is unpleasant to you. And it keeps happening again and again. And you pay so much of attention to it. And you finally kind of start believing that, what, this must be something else. This is the absolute truth. Maybe, yeah, this thing is not meant for me, or I'm not supposed to be doing this specific thing. So it's very important in this case to understand that all your thoughts are not the absolute truth. So how is it that you can manage this? So there is one activity that I used to do when I started off initially. So whenever a thought would come to my mind that would trigger certain negative emotions, I would often keep thinking about it and go into that chain of thoughts, and it would lead to overthinking and certain emotions that I would not be able to manage. So this was one activity that helped me, and it's very simple. It might sound funny to you, but trust me, if you consciously work on it, I think you'll be able to manage these thoughts and emotions in a much better way. So I would imagine myself standing at a station. Okay, it's a railway station, and the station over here represents your mind. So what I would do is imagine myself standing at a station, and now I can see certain trains passing by, and all these trains are thoughts, just like how our minds have bazillion thoughts passing by day in and day out. So there are different thoughts that are just passing by. Now, even on a daily basis, there are so many thoughts. There are some thoughts we engage in consciously, and then there are some that we just let them pass by. So the station is just like that. Now, there is a specific thought that is coming, and I know that this thought is going to trigger certain emotions because it has done so in the past. Now, it is up to you to first of all decide whether you want to consciously engage with this specific thought. That is, if you want to give this specific train a signal to stop at the station, or you want to just let it pass by. Now I know it might sound funny, and you might think this is not going to help me, but when you actually are experiencing, or that you are in a situation that, and you're going to have a thought like this, or it is going to bring up a thought like this, and this thought has always uh, evoked a specific emotion that is unpleasant, you can just imagine yourself standing at the station, and you can either say it out loud or think to yourself that I'm not going to let this thought stop at this station in my mind. I'm just going to let it pass by. I'm going to probably deal with it later. Oh, just pass by for now, because right now I choose to not engage with this train of thought. I choose not to let it trigger any negative emotions. So this has helped me. It's a small thing, it might sound funny to you, but trust me, it is very effective if you try to use this thing. So do let me know if it helps you a lot. Also, start paying a lot of attention on how you express your feelings, if you're expressing a feeling or you're expressing a thought. And your another takeaway from this video should be, all your thoughts are not true, or your thoughts are not always true. Okay, so you do not have to believe that if it has come to your mind it is the absolute truth. Okay, and then the third takeaway that I want you to remember, that if you are able to tell the difference between your thoughts and feelings, you will be able to manage them in a much better way. And you do deserve to manage and manage any unpleasant emotion to make yourself feel better. So I will see you in the next video of the Emotionally Intelligent series. Stay tuned. Thank you.